right, kickstands up, everybody. It's time to have a little bit of radio wind therapy on the 99% Radio Network. You are listening to Sideshow 12 and Mongo, broadcasting you live from the Fishbowl Radio Network studios here in Arlington, Texas, where the day is beautiful. It's hot. It's a great day to ride. But today we want to sit down and we want to hear about what's going on in our motorcycle community. Today's show is brought to you by the V-Rock, the Veterans Resource Outreach Center located at 4210 Industrial Boulevard in Rowlett, Texas. The V-Rock offers services to our military and our first responders. Check them out at lifemessage.org. .com or .org? I think it's .org, right? .org. Caregiver, a.k.a. Chris Kazar, a.k.a. Caregiver, and his family have been supporting the Rowlett community and those surrounding communities for over 20 years, giving back through food services, programs, PTSD services, and classes to help our military and our first responders get back on their feet after deployment, after retirement, or if they're just having issues. The V-Rock has no borders, so no matter where you are on this planet, if you can get to Rowlett, Texas, those doors are open for you. So I want to welcome everybody to the 99% Radio Network. And what's going on, 12 and Mongo? How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, brother. How are you?
Just awesome. Been a good week. I always can't wait till Wednesdays, man, so we can do the show. It's been growing so rapidly due to the support of all the clubs and enthusiasts out there. We've never gotten this kind of support before, man, and it's so nice to make a difference for all these guys.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It really is. I
posted something this morning. I was looking back over the past 8 weeks of the shows as you were putting them on the YouTube channel and all of that. In 8 weeks, the things that the network, which is us and all the clubs that have come in and that we've made contact with outside of the studio. I mean, starting with the fundraiser for RIB, right around $20,000 total for the Jarheads MC,
right?
Which was fantastic. And then when Whiskers for Wounded Warriors came in, we helped with the housing for the veteran family and the repairs, which Whiskers and his guys did. Last week when we had Ryan the Marine in, we helped him.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jessica Lamb from Shadows Behind the Badge about her appearance on the show, and she said since she came in, appeared, she had 800 more followers for Shadow Behind the Badge.
Wow.
She had MCs and police officers, military people reaching out to Shadows to seek help. She said it was unbelievable, directly tied, she said, to her appearance on the show. And that tells us, I think, right, Mongo, that what we're doing is working. We got the right idea. It's their show. It's a show about lifting them up, promoting them, their charities, and making a difference. And
giving them a platform.
Yes, and clearly we're doing that, I think.
When you can raise somebody up on 800 more likes or 800 more shares for your cause, that is amazing. That's just utterly amazing on doing that for somebody.
Well, and you just look at the growth. I mean, the very first show we had 5,200 people that watched it live on Facebook or came into the www.fbrn.us.
Right.
And the last show we're over 13,000 just on the 99% page. All total, it was over 36,000. That's incredible.
Yeah, like I said, unbelievable support from everybody around the globe, around the country who's tuned in. Definitely making a difference. And this week we got something. We're out there trying to help people, and just like all the other clubs. And this September 7th we have something going on. Right, this Saturday we have something going on. And I want to bring this out real quick. This way, everybody knows, and maybe they can come out and join us.
So Saturday morning at 7:30 at the intersection of Chisa and Highway 66 in Rowlett, a whole bunch of us from Third Watch and some other civic-minded groups, including Home Depot, are going to meet up, and we're going to make our way over to the home of Donald Pearson. Donald is a Marine, Vietnam combat vet, who is now disabled. He's got several disabilities. We're going to make our way over to his house, and we're going to do a home improvement project, which will include new fencing, new gutters, new flooring,
Kitchen appliances.
Kitchen appliances. I mean, it's a major renovation. We're going to knock it all out in one day and make his life, his and his family's life, a little bit easier.
And all that stuff's being donated by Home Depot, right?
That's correct. Home Depot has taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, and they're taking care of all the stuff, all the material.
So all we need is pretty much just labor and hands, right?
That's right. We
Labor
need some
hands?
people that know. We're also going to be doing ceiling fans and lighting, so we need people that know a little something about doing fencing, something about
Not
doing
burning the
lighting,
guy's house down.
some plumbing. Yeah, we don't want to burn his house down. We're going to be doing the labor, and they're providing the material.
And
Yeah.
isn't Jessica Lamb going to be providing drinks and food for us?
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I got a picture from her today that showed a delivery that got made to Fire Station 3. There were cases of Gatorade and water and things like that.
Hold on, we got an incoming call.
Okay.
Just
Want me to go ahead and take it?
yeah, take
All
it,
right,
take
all
it.
right.
We'll never back down from a call, man.
You're on the 99% Radio Network. Who do we got here?
Hi, this is Countryman MC's National President Cash.
Hey, Cash, how you doing? This is 12, along with Sideshow and Mongo. How are you today?
Doing great, thank you.
We you actually you beat us to it. We hadn't got a chance to introduce Jimbo yet.
Oh, well, he can wait anyway.
Yeah, if you just hold on and let us finish, let just get us through these events, and then you don't mind staying on, right?
Roger, standing by.
All right, brother. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Cash. Okay, so where are we at?
Oh, well, Jessica Lamb from Shadows Behind the Badge.
Yeah, Jessica Lamb, in addition to the Gatorade and all that she got donated, is having lunch for everybody that comes out to work. It's going to be catered there at Mr. Pearson's house. So I think that's pretty good.
That's yeah, I know. We'll be there. I got to work at midnight that night, but I'll be there right after that.
The fraternity Omega Gamma Delta is going to be helping us out that day at the Pearson Project also.
Oh yeah, Johnny Walsh. He's a painter, so if the guy needs any painting to do, John's an amazing painter for 40 years, so he's got a lot to offer and bring to the table, which is he already helped. He helped last time with that one vet that we painted her room and her whole house.
Her husband was having some issues. Yeah, I
Correct,
remember that.
correct.
Yep.
And that's what this show is all about. And when you said how this is networking around and bringing hands together, this is what we're doing. Because people can't do it by themselves, and this is reaching out, and people are responding. Like you said, one of those senators responded with an emergency trailer for that vet. And we've got to supply housing for him just by airing it on the air.
That was former Congressman Pete Sessions that helped out.
Pete Sessions, man.
with
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
so, just by what we're doing and getting the word out through this platform, you don't never know who's listening and the difference you can make in someone's life. That's why it's so important to share this show with other people, because you don't know. It may hit a topic that they need to be part of. If that makes any sense.
It does.
Before we get into before we break for a quick commercial, you want to bring up some upcoming events, since we got a lot of listeners on right now, and want to share some of these upcoming events with people.
Well, do we want to let Jimbo?
Cash
has already,
sure.
let the bag out. Should we
Let's go.
introduce him?
Yeah, of course.
So we're very honored today. I'm very honored to have my good friend and president of Texas 113. Is that correct, Jimbo?
Yes, sir.
Got it right? Okay. Of the Countryman, Jimbo. I've known him for several years now. I was commenting earlier, they don't have a handbook for being the president of a motorcycle club of any kind, right? So you kind of have to wing it, and a lot of unusual stuff comes up. And Jimbo has been kind enough to, over the years, when I had some questions, to mentor me and say, well, maybe you could do this or maybe you could do that. So very honored to have him in the studio today.
Hope you never took any of my advice, by the way.
I've never sat in that chair. I've never sat in the president's chair. But it's got to be a lot like parenting, man. There's really no book, and you got a bunch of different personalities, a bunch of different types of guys,
Absolutely.
and how big the club is. You got to try to be neutral, and do what's best for the majority of the club.
Absolutely.
So it's not an easy task. Your mind's constantly going. Yeah, it probably never shuts off, between both you guys. You're always on how to bring the clubs forward and how to make the membership grow and, support other clubs. So there's a lot going on. So being a president is just not a seat. You wear a lot of hats.
Well, when some things, there's always a few bumps in the road that come along, as your club goes and grows. And Jimbo was kind enough to give me some very, very good advice, and even more importantly, besides being a good brother, he keeps things confidential. You can trust him, and I have the utmost respect for him. So I'm glad to welcome Jimbo to the studio today. Sorry, Mongo, I know you're fixing to bite my arm. We wanted to have you guys talk about your event coming up on Saturday the 7th, so go ahead and let it rip.
And just remind me who we have on the air, too. We have on
we have Cash, National President.
Cash, National President of Countryman Motorcycle Club. And thanks for having me here, guys. I appreciate it. About the 7th, we have a ride going out to, there's a charity called Hope for Warriors. A good friend of ours, Frank, puts on a concert every year for this charity to raise money out of his place. He's got this horse pasture that he's kind of turned into an outdoor venue where he hosts concerts, big dance floor concerts. He's going to have vendors out there, food trucks. He'll have all kinds of stuff going. It's always a great time.
Like Woodstock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So what we do every year is we host a ride to there. We get a bunch of bikers from the area and kind of get them together, register them up, give them some wristbands. This year we're actually doing it from Sports City Cafe over in Mesquite.
Okay.
Right off Town Center. We're doing registration there. It starts at 12. KSU is 2 o'clock. Sports City has been generous enough to extend their Monday through Friday lunch menu to anybody wearing a wristband that they normally don't do on Saturday. They're going to do happy hour prices on food and drinks. I just want to invite everybody to come out and have a good time, have a good ride, and then ride out to the concert. And it's an all-night thing. Come and go as you please, or come show up. There's also with the registration, you'll receive, once you get to the concert, you'll have your choice to receive one raffle ticket for the I forget what rifle they're raffling off this year. There's a rifle that they're raffling off, or you get.
Is it an AR or an AK?
No, not this year.
Because I got to bring something up on that I just read, and I just being the person that doesn't offend anybody. But, word out to Beto, you're never going to be making president because of that statement you made that you are coming for our guns, our ARs and our AK. So, give out those ARs and AKs.
Yep, absolutely.
Spread the wealth, man.
Absolutely. The donation for the ride to get your wristband, you go and you trade your wristband in for either one raffle ticket for that, 5 raffle tickets for a signed guitar that they have. It's a beautiful guitar every year. It's wrapped with the theme of this year. Just so you can get 5 tickets to that, or you can get a T-shirt, or you can get a hat. So it's kind of your choice this year. They've kind of opened it up. It used to be 1 gun ticket or 5 guitar tickets. Now it's
now answer it. You can answer. You can answer that and keep the national president because it's 2 different lines. One, he's on Skype. He's going to be on Google.
How about that?
So, hold on. I'm sorry.
Oh,
We just got another incoming call through Facebook.
You there, preacher?
Hello. You there?
How are you?
How's it going, preacher?
I'm good.
Hey, we got the national president of the Countryman on the other line. Can I put you on hold, or would it be better for you to call back in a little bit? Can you do that?
Call back later.
Can you call back after a bit?
Yeah, I can call back in about maybe 20 minutes or so.
I'll send you a message.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
That was preacher calling in from Dublin, Ireland. So we'll get him back here in a little bit.
All right. So we're sorry, man.
That's okay. So yeah, Saturday, Sports City Cafe in Mesquite. Come on out. Registration opens at noon. At 12 o'clock. KSU is at 2 o'clock. Come on out. Let's go have a good time. We'll ride out to the concert, and we'll have some fun.
And
while we're raising money for Hope for Warriors.
There you go. That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Now,
sir.
Tell us a little bit about Hope for Warriors.
Hope for Warriors is a charitable organization that raises money for veterans. they do a lot with veterans, get them back into the limelight when they come back, get them back on their feet, get them assimilated to society again, and just kind of help them out any way they can. Not only veterans, first responders, firefighters, EMTs, police. They do a lot of good. They're a really good charity, and you don't hear a lot about them because they're just not out there publicizing themselves. They're out there raising money for vets.
Right.
That's
Well,
what
let's give them that platform, and let's try to get them. We'll bring them up and have them on a show one day. But what I want to say about what you just said, assimilating them back to where they are after either deployment or after retirement. Everybody's got to remember if you're not in the military, if you're not a first responder, it's hard to understand once you stop being a veteran. Well, you never stop being a veteran, but once you stop that mission, okay, it's hard not to keep giving back because you have it in your blood, you have it in your soul. So you feel like you lost your identity. You feel like you lost something about yourself. And these organizations, what they do is they provide that mission back. They provide that giving protection and caring feeling that all the military and first responders have within them.
Sure. Man,
because that's what happens when you lose that connection with the brotherhood, or when you lose that connection of giving back, or the mission continues, you start falling into a depression. And that's why a lot of guys retired from the NYPD. When they lose that, they feel like they're worthless. So I'm glad that that's a great organization to keep that mission going for our vets.
Sure.
Cash, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Make sure we didn't lose you, brother.
So national president. Let's talk a little bit about Cash. Being a national president, how many different chapters we got?
So the national title is kind of always feels silly for me in this instance because we have two. We're a young organization. We started here in North Texas, but we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization run by a board of directors, and they elected me president of that. So there's where the national president title comes from.
Okay. Now, when you say you're a young club, but you've done so much so far, now you're doing the stuff for the Warriors. Do you do stuff for first responders as well? Do the clubs come together? You have a certain primary charity that you donate to, that you run causes for?
Over the years, we've had opportunity to serve a couple of specific needs. This year, we branched out and found a place back in May. It was a veteran resource center down here in Dallas. And they, to speak to what you were just describing about life after, help get homeless veterans back on their feet. And obviously, that's a big undertaking. So anything that we can do to help with something like that, we like to do. There are other organizations out there who have similar missions. And so as far as our nonprofit work, our helping veterans portion of our mission, the club's mission being serve our brothers and support our veterans, a very simple one, but it means a lot. That's one such opportunity. This concert this weekend is another opportunity. Sometimes we'll get a story of an individual, like several years ago, there was an older retiree living in a home care facility, and was stricken to a wheelchair, but didn't possess the upper arm strength because of his age to move that chair around. But he was a veteran and he had served his nation, and so we took our resources and networks and found a power chair for him, and that changed his way of life. So it's the big organizations like the Veteran Resource Center, and it's the small individual needs like that gentleman in that home. That was the founding purpose of this club.
Did we lose him there? Nope. You still there, Cash? We're having some technical difficulties trying to get your volume up just a little bit. Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry too. I guess I could also lean a little closer to my mic.
So,
all right. Hopefully that's better on Facebook, where they can hear us and hear Cash talking. So give us a thumbs up if the Facebook volume has increased. So let us know.
I can definitely hear better. Just
All right. Well, I'll. Yeah. Do I need to provide a synopsis?
You can just keep going. Just keep going.
So how did you and Jimbo decide on setting up Texas 113? How did you guys come about that?
Well, it's actually a very interesting story. So the chapter that existed, the one that I founded originally, went out to an event to help support a Marine who had been struck and was in need of some financial support. And that, of course, aligns with the Countryman MC's mission, so we went out there. And we found Jimbo and his men, part of a different organization at the time, and got to chat with them and really liked who they were. I felt like the MC life isn't for everyone, and it is what kind of makes it special. And I felt like these men understand it. And further, they understand the giving back portion of the mission. And so I talked to my vice president at the time, Woody, who's now the Texas 85th president, and it felt like just a natural fit. And so we spoke to Jimbo, spoke to Ox, his sergeant at arms, and Chief, his vice president. That conversation went really well. And over time, we got to talk a little bit more and a little bit more. And I just got the sense that these men could do more out in the world if maybe we helped incorporate them into what we were doing. I've heard once that your network is your net worth. And so the more people you know, and the more people you're connected with, especially ones who are like-minded on the same mission, the greater impact you can have. And that's the purpose and the goal of our growth in Countryman MC, is to provide those veterans, and not just veterans, but patriotic Americans who didn't serve but love supporting veterans, have a place to come and do that. And then also have a place to come to be around people who have been through the shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You're good.
But you mentioned earlier about how those folks coming off the force or people coming back from deployments. I spent 2 years of my life in Afghanistan, and it is hard to describe to other people.
Thank you for your service, brother.
My pleasure, most of the time, as I like to say. But people coming off with duty or out of the military, just like you said, there's a missing element of camaraderie and brotherhood, and there's a missing element of adrenaline, and motorcycles provide that. And there's a missing element of, I've got to serve. I was serving before. I was serving something good. I want to continue to do that. Right. These men did that. And so after several months of a probationary status, it was almost too easy of a decision for the board to approve their chapter's foundation.
Well, you've probably already figured out what kind of guy Jimbo is, as you've had some time to spend with him. But I have one story just to illustrate his character, and not just him, but it's the people in his chapter as well. Boondocks, Ox, Chief. I haven't seen Chief in a while, but these are all great guys. But a couple of years ago, it was just right before Christmas, we when we were kind of getting the V-Rock together, we found out about a vet that had been doing a toy drive for some folks. And do you remember the name of that town, Jimbo?
I don't.
It's about 100 miles east of Rowlett.
Okay.
Out towards Sulphur Springs and Tyler and out that way. And someone had gone to this guy's house to pick up these toys that he had collected. Him and his wife were trying to pay back in the community, a veteran guy. Well, they looked at his house, and this guy had plastic, and it was really cold that December.
Very cold.
He had plastic wrapped around his house. His house was unfinished, no floors. There was dirt floors.
Wow.
I think he had
It was
some.
pretty much a lean-to.
Yeah. It was and he didn't want anybody to know. So the request came in: can anybody get together and help this guy out? At the time, and I was trying to put it together. My father got taken to the hospital, and so I was right in the middle. And he's up in Kentucky, so I was trying to figure out how I was going to help this guy and then get up to see my dad. Jimbo and little Tex from Chaotic Angels, they took their trucks. They went down to Walmart, Home Depot. They bought heaters for this house. They literally filled up 2 trucks full of supplies. One of them had nothing but food and groceries. The rest of them had housing stuff. And Jimbo, he sent me a message. He said, I got this. Don't worry about it. Go see your dad. And loaded up the truck. Him and little Tex drove, 100 miles from from Rowlett to help this guy out. They made his house so he could, at least him and his wife could stay warm. They hooked him up with the plumbing. I think he ended up raising like $5,000, maybe more. I can't remember exactly, but it was a good bit of money to give him at Christmas time.
Wow.
So that's the kind of guy that Jimbo is, and that's another reason why you have my respect, brother.
You know, that's one thing about the motorcycle community and everybody that we've had in the studio so far. You know, every club that we've talked to, man, it's you know, boots on the ground. You need something. It's not like, well, I can't. It's boom, we're there. What do you need? And you know, that is it's such a great feeling to know that you have brothers throughout the world that at a drop of a hat, man, they have your six. You know, and you just can't get that in any other community. You know, besides the motorcycle community.
I agree.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful life, man. I recommend it.
He's one of those guys, and everybody in his chapter that I'm familiar with, they're the kind of people that they don't say no. If there's a need, and especially with a veteran that comes up, and you say, hey, can you help out with this, or will you help out? And they've supported the city of Rowlett's veterans recognition faithfully. They've done lots of things to help veterans over in east of Dallas. They don't say no. They don't ask how much it costs. They just say, what do you need? And that's what I love about them.
You know, we touched on this. We touched a little bit on this last week, and you posted this on our page, which was pretty impressive. We're at this is week 9, but prior to this, just our 8 shows with just the 8 clubs that we had on, and plus Preacher over in Ireland with Blue Deus, and Grant over there in England. You know, that's 8 clubs have raised close to $1 million, close to $1 million for services for different causes. That's just 8 clubs.
It's incredible.
If you really think about that, that's only 8 clubs throughout the country. You have to have thousands of motorcycle clubs that are doing this, that are raising money for charitable organizations. The money goes in, I would say, goes close to $1 billion a year raised by just motorcycle clubs across the country and in Europe.
It's pretty amazing. You know, I saw our brothers from Iron Legacy presenting a $50,000 check the other day to the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, it was like just incredible what MCs all over the country are doing.
You know, and what really and I'm getting chills just, you know, thinking about what I'm about to say is, you know, you look at Google, Yahoo, all these big corporations where CEOs are making millions of dollars and putting it in their bank accounts, and they're donating whatever. Here are just we're blue collar workers. We're military. We're first responders. We're retired. We're not making a lot of money, but you know what? We're raising just as much as those big corporations do for these charitable events, and we got boots on the ground to boot. You know, we're out there getting our hands dirty, sweating on our necks, and giving back to the communities. You know, you don't see the CEO from Yahoo or Google out there, you know, tearing up rug for a veteran's home, or putting up a fence for a veteran's home, or buying heaters and supplying that, or buying a truck full of food. You know, and this is where it's at, brothers. This is, you know, screw every corporation. This is where it's at. It's the motorcycle clubs that are giving back to our communities.
Oh, in spades. Well, it was Jimbo that introduced the V-Rock to the Sikh Riders, our friends from the Sikh Riders of America. He got that whole thing going. Not only us, but Chaotic Angels as well, the Southern Dogs. I think you set all that up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the network. It's all about the network.
It's exactly it. Exactly it. I'm just trying to get one of these graphics up because we do have to. There we go. We do have to transition into something real quick. We're going to take a quick break. After we get back, we're going to come back with the Mongo log, so stay tuned.
Fifth Avenue Nutrition of Garland is a twist on your normal coffee or donut shop. Serving coffee, teas, shaved ice, and delicious ice cream shakes, pastries, and muffins, Fifth Avenue offers a wide variety of delicious drinking concoctions, ranging from specialty coffee, nitro brews, meal replacement ice cream shakes, to energy-boosting fruit-flavored teas. At Fifth Avenue, we proudly serve the Black Rifle Company brand coffee. At Fifth Avenue, we back our blue by offering free coffee to all uniformed members of the service. Visit us at 414 West Avenue D, Garland, Texas, open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Pop in and see us. We have a bright idea to make you healthy, delicious, and fun.
Hey brothers, this is Big Love. Wanted to give a shout out to 99% Radio Network.
Hi, this is Boone, president of Deadweight Chapter of the Southern Dogs. You're listening to 99% Radio Network here on Fishbowl Radio Network.
This is Sergeant Ryan Edwards, United States Marine Corps, and you're listening to 99% Radio Network Live. Hoorah!
All right, we're back with the 99% Radio Network, and stay tuned for the Mongo Log.
Mongo! Santa Maria!
I'll believe it. And maybe one of you friends and neighbors kind of gather around and holy shit!
Here comes Mongo!
Good, Mongo. It's all you, brother.
I love hearing that. All right, folks. Today we're going to be talking about economics, capitalism versus socialism, and the Green New Deal. Capitalism is quickly defined as an economic system where the means of production are owned by the individual. Under capitalism, individuals and companies are motivated by profit. They exist to make money. All companies have owners or managers. Sometimes these persons are one and the same. Sometimes, especially in larger companies, the owners are shareholders. Under capitalism, government's role is to enforce laws and regulations in an effort to create a level playing field. To a socialist, capitalism is a system created out of greed and selfishness in an effort to rip off other people and isn't fair to everyone equally. In reality, the system allows for the individual to keep what is earned through hard work, make maybe a little luck, and exchange it for what is needed. In a socialist economic system, the means of production as well as the profits derived are controlled by the government. Under this type of system, everyone works for wealth that will be distributed by the government for everyone and for the common good. Under capitalism, you work for your money. Under socialism, you work for the well-being of everyone. The government decides how and where your money is spent. In a pure socialist economy, there are usually government-provided services such as healthcare, education, and in some cases, economic security. These programs are called free, but in reality, they are funded through higher taxes. The government emphasizes an equal distribution of the wealth to all the people. There is still little room for capitalist growth in a socialist economy, but there is going to be higher tax burdens on the wealth that is earned. Many countries operate under a mixed system of capitalism and socialism. Although the U.S. is predominantly a capitalist society, we maintain socialist programs such as Social Security, Section 8 housing, welfare, Medicare, and Medicaid. To a socialist, socialism is a system where everyone works in a selfless manner for the common good of everyone else. In reality, it's a system where wealth is controlled by a small group and they determine how best to distribute what is needed and when. What does an optimistic socialist say? It can't get any worse. I read a perfect analogy of socialism on Facebook and how to teach your children how it works. Have one of your kids clean the bathroom, and for this chore you'll agree to pay them $10 upon completion. After the chore is done, pay them the money. Then take $6 away from them and give it to their other sibling. Explain that in a common good society, although the other sibling didn't do any work, they need and deserve the money to go out later that night. One child will learn that they don't need to work to earn money, and the other will learn why would they have to work so hard to get the money if it's just going to be taken away and given to somebody else. Socialism is based on the theory that incentives don't work. It's for this reason that it continues to fail. This is the primary reason that socialism has been failing around the world since the beginning of its utopian pipe dream. The list of failed nations that have tried and suffered brutally under history under socialism includes the Soviet Union, North Korea, East Germany, Spain, and Nicaragua. Refugees from Haiti risk a 500-mile boat trip, sometimes in homemade rafts, across the ocean to reach America. Why would they do this when the socialist paradise of Cuba is but a mere 50 miles away, crossing that same water? Greece and Venezuela serve as excellent examples of modern-day failed socialist nations. Half of the youth of Greece are unemployed. Greece is a socialism on steroids. 3 international bank bailouts haven't been able to save this nation. The money continues to run out. In 1992, Venezuela was the 3rd richest nation in the Western Hemisphere. In 1997, Hugo Chavez took an oil-rich nation and ran it into the ground over the next 25 years. He modeled his nation's economy after Fidel Castro in Cuba. Free health care and education, along with personal greed. Chavez also did something in 2009 that would later have a huge impact on his nation, and we here in the U.S. should pay close attention to. He banned the personal ownership of firearms. Chavez ran this nation into the dirt until he died in 2012, and then Nicolas Maduro took the reins of power in 2013. Maduro devastated what was left. Today they continue to experience food and drug shortages. Things that we in America take for granted, such as toilet paper and toothpaste, have become scarce but valued commodities. Food shortages have caused the people to eat their family pets or the pets of their neighbors. This year, during protests over living conditions and the state of their government, unarmed citizens, remember they had their guns taken away, were gunned down by their own government. The only people living well in Venezuela today are those in control of the government. When our Democratic presidential candidates speak of their version of socialism, they don't even want nations like Sweden or Denmark to be used as examples of socialism that work. The reason is because, contrary to popular belief and the argument posed by many ordinary citizens that will quickly counter with the argument for socialism, well, what about Sweden and Denmark? Well, I'm going to tell you all about Sweden and Denmark. In 1970, Sweden was the 7th richest nation in the world. During the next 25 years, there was no job growth in the private sector. By 1995, it was ranked 14th in the world. Still not a bad spot to be in, but it was failing. Sweden started to walk away from this model of failure, and through deregulation, free trade, school vouchers, and partially privatizing its public pension program, Sweden began to thrive again. Through these efforts that sound very similar to what our Republican Party in America supports, Sweden has thrived. It's not the success story that our Democrats want to brag about. The former president of Denmark referred to Denmark's Nordic economy as an expanded welfare state that provides a high level of security to its citizens. He also said it was a successful market economy with much freedom to pursue your dreams and live your life as you wish. Not exactly the pure socialist state that our big brother coddling you from cradle to the grave would like to talk about. Most of our Democratic presidential candidates support the Green New Deal. I actually took the time to read the Green New Deal. After reading it, I was inspired. I went out to the barn, saddled up my unicorn, stripped down naked, and rode that magical beast for miles, cursing every methane fart-emitting cow I could locate, before watching the next ozone-depleted sunset. I contemplated life without beef, dairy, fossil fuel for my Harley, and no air transportation. I came to the conclusion that the Green New Deal was about as imaginary as my unicorn. Turns out I was just running around my property naked. I'm really having a hard time trying to wrap my head around the actual resolution of the Green New Deal and the fact that so many of our elected officials, both Republican and Democratic, support it. I guess the actual theory of this resolution is well intended, but to think that in 10 years the actual content could ever be achieved is fantasy. The statements in this resolution that are listed as facts are unsourced. It kind of follows the example of, so it is written, so it shall be. The crux of the deal is to reach net zero emissions in 10 years. Farting cows are out. Every building in America will be retrofit to meet green standards. Fossil fuels and nuclear energy are out. Farms and farmland will be reorganized to produce necessary crops to sustain our new utopia. A smart grid will be built, transportation will be completely changed, and we're going to plant a lot of trees. How will all this be funded? They just say, well, we'll find a way, we always do. Just like we built a massive war machine to win World War II, just like we put a man on the moon, when America puts her mind to something, we'll make it happen. They always counter with the argument, the question shouldn't be how we pay for this. The real question is how we enjoy the prosperity derived from this. Don't think that I'm trying to be a sarcastic smartass what I'm about to tell you, but this comes directly out of the new Green Deal resolution. With all of these pie-in-the-sky changes, we'll actually achieve racial equality, a sustainable income for all families, and the planet will be saved. We're going to be busy over the next 10 years if any of these yahoos that actually believe in the Green New Deal get into office. Capitalism, on the other hand, is incentive-based. The system has an efficiency built right into it. Surplus and shortages are kept under control by the individual. Supply and demand is determined by the manufacturer and the consumer. You can walk into almost any market in America and the shelves are stocked. There's meat, there's poultry, there's fruit and vegetables available to the consumer. These products are for the most part affordable. The individual, based on his or her ability or willingness to work, can earn money and afford the purchase of products of this choice. Is there abuse in our system? Sure there is. Companies get too big, create monopolies, and take advantage of their position. Individuals get greedy. I get that. Although I'm not going to pull the curtain back on this particular aspect of capitalism, there's an argument to be made that capitalism is a very deadly economic system. Wars have been fought over oil, cobalt extraction from the African Congo, and other reasons for killing people over the making money. That, however, digs deeper into the economic sausage that I'm not going to go into. We have government regulations that keep our economic system in check. For safety reasons, I have no doubt that we need some regulation. As with most rules and laws, they are created as a result of some idiot that went ahead and did something stupid or dangerous, and a written law had to be created to stop that activity. Socialism is like a security blanket. If you're down on your luck, just plain lazy, it can afford you a basic minimum lifestyle. That is until other people's money runs out. Then the only solution for the government is to cut out people, which to the horror of millions has happened all too often. Another answer to the money running out is to cut services, raise taxes even higher, or just fold. When socialism finally does fail, it has actually achieved its goal of equality for all. Everyone is equally miserable. Capitalism encourages entrepreneurship while socialism discourages it. In a capitalist society, the government can create a level playing field for the individual that wants to succeed and is willing to apply himself to reach his monetary and business goals. For all of my life, I was given incentives to behave, to learn, to earn, and to succeed. I don't want a handout, nor do I want to be told that for all my efforts, my work is going to go to somebody else's kid going to college. I'm charitable. I don't mind helping out. I've earned everything that I have, and I've paid a high price for a lot of it. I like our system of capitalism, and I hope that our system continues to thrive. Socialism looks like a good idea on paper, unless that paper is in a history book. Boom.
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 You know that it's and you're not running for any political office. You're just telling the facts the way they stand and what they are. And I just want to bring up a little to start the controversy on this topic that you brought up. What's happening in the newspaper right now with capitalism? Zeke from Dallas Cowboys, $90 million for 6 years. $90 million for a 6-year contract. I don't fault him for being able to play football, but let's look at the real picture there. That's $90 million. Where are all these guys that are fighting all the big companies like Amazon and all these politicians that are fighting Amazon and killing all these big company deals? Why aren't they out there going, why is a football player who plays a sport worth $90 million for 6 years?
26 years old and
Yeah,
$90
right.
million.
Hey, God bless him. That's great. He was able to get that deal, and he's going to live prosperously. But you know what? All these people that are who are talking on their iPhones and talking on their $1,000 phones are going against these big companies. They're wearing $600 pair of kicks. They're going against these big companies, but no one's going to fight against a $90 million contract. You know what I say? You're all a bunch of pussies. You're all a bunch of pussies and hypocrites. That's what I see. Yep. Because if you're gonna accept a $90 million contract and you're talking on your cell phone and then fault Amazon or Yahoo or Google for making money, right? Or all the big companies for making money. Let's go to look at some of those sports figures.
And those sports figures are going to do like Zeke did this year. He's under contract. He didn't honor the contract that he signed initially. He wanted something else, which is why he held out and got the contract that he got. I would say that in 3 years, if he's performing, he's going to want a new contract because that's not going to be enough money for him.
That's right. And you know what? I don't fault anybody for prospering, man. And you know what? You have the talent to play that football. Okay, personally, I don't think $90 million over a 6-year contract's worth it. But you know what? God bless him for doing that. But where are all the people that fight against all our other stuff?
You know what pisses me off about that, though? And I think he should be able to earn as much money in America as you can possibly
without a
earn.
doubt.
That's what we're all about. But our cops, our firemen, first responders across the board.
Yep. Nurses, teachers.
Going out there, getting shot at, getting abused, verbally abused, physically abusing themselves just to do the job for 17, 18, 19, 20, 25 bucks an hour, $60,000, maybe $70,000 a year. In some places, maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit less.
And well, in some places,
yeah,
our friends up in Kentucky, I guarantee you, are making a whole lot less money than that. And it needs to be equitable. Our soldiers. Cash, you still on there? Cash,
yep, I'm here.
When you were active duty, how much did you make a month for risking your neck?
Well, so I was in there for 17 years. I remember joining as a buck private, and making next to nothing, especially after you take monies out.
So, what, $1,500 a month, maybe?
Yeah, and these my last deployment, I remember heading out with 17 and 18-year-old kids, because that's what they were. Making next to nothing, going out and doing some of the most dangerous things I can imagine a person having to do. It's tough. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, let's look at the reality of that, okay? What you deployed for how long? It's a 12-month deployment. You did 2 tours, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you're away from your family for, let's look at 24 months. You're away from your family, making maybe $35,000, $40,000 a year, if that, right? Here, we're giving guys $90 million, and you know what? They don't have to pay for anything. They walk into a restaurant, food's comped, okay? Their expense accounts are paid for Ubers and drivers and security, and they're, what is wrong with our country where we put our heroes in football and baseball and soccer uniforms, and we kick our life-saving first responders and military personnel to the curb? You know what I think it's because? I think we're stupid. I think we are the stupid ones.
I think we can kind of put this in perspective that everybody will understand. Bernie Sanders is a frickin' socialist, okay? But lots of young people, they like him because he wants to give away free stuff. He's a multimillionaire, lives in a frickin' mansion, drives a Ferrari. I've seen it. It's a red one.
He's got four homes.
Okay, so, he had to release he was real proud about releasing his financial records. And on the whole, he'd given away charitably $10,000. I guarantee you, Jimbo sitting over here has done
more,
way more. And Jimbo's a working dude. He's a blue collar working guy, and I can guarantee you, because just that one thing that they did all that work out at that one vet's house, he's done at least half as much as what Bernie's done, and he's a freaking multimillionaire. It's that's what's wrong with it. We have people
talk about a level playing field.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about a level playing field.
Yeah.
Mongo, that really, I got to give you credit. That was so well written, so well brought out. So thank you for that. The Mongo log is amazing, and it really brings and highlights what's going on in this country. You got anything to add to that, Jimbo?
Nah, I was just thinking when you brought up how Bernie's got the 4 houses, I was thinking there's probably a big fence around each one of them.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
When we talk about that, when we talk about, hey, we don't want to let immigration in, we don't want to, every one of these politicians that are, supporting supporting immigration and the illegals and not building a wall. They all have walls and securities around their houses. You know what? Because it's not in their backyard. They don't care whose other backyard they put it in. They just don't want it in their backyard. They have armed security around. They live on the top of the hill. They don't give a crap what's on the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
And when we talk about Bernie Sanders having 4 houses, that man did not have a job until 40 years old. When he never held a job. How do you?
It's ridiculous.
It's almost a scam. It's almost a scam. How does a politician get so rich when they're not making that much money?
Yeah.
How do you go into politics making $150K and leave politics a multi-millionaire?
Yep.
There's something wrong with that, man. I should have been born into politics.
Too, our we keep hearing from the politicians that our polar ice caps are melting and we're going to flood our coastal plains of our country, and there's going to be portions of our country underwater in no time if we don't, for whatever reason, give money. And by us giving this money, all this is going to stop. Well, the polarized caps have actually increased in size. They're larger. And we have a former president that just bought a multi-million-dollar mansion on the island up in Martha's Vineyard.
Out of New Jersey, correct? Yep, the mother chapter's out of New Jersey. Out of the mother chapter, so we're going to welcome him in here in just a minute.
I'm gonna find him and see what happened. I know why we lost sound, because we called out all the we called out all the Democrats, and Mark Zuckerberg is probably listening and said, "Oh, I don't want that on my Facebook."
Yeah, he probably shut us down.
Probably shut us down. Exactly it, man.
I think we got sound back.
Oh, we got sound back?
We got sound back?
All right. Yep. I see Sea Dog's chiming in. He can hear us again.
Yeah, Zuckerberg killed us off on that, man. He said, he wants to kill Trump, him and Google. They want to kill the whole Trump deal. He probably shut us down. Said, mute that.
He was giving Mongo the smackdown right there.
It happens.
Little does he know, he doesn't know Mongo very well. So, all right. Looks like we're back. That's Rocky's telling us that.
Awesome.
She can hear us again. Preacher, I guess you can hear us over there in Ireland, and Priest over there in England. I hope you guys are still listening in.
Yep. So we want to welcome
Poncho.
Poncho. Thank you, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having
welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you.
I
Talk closer to the mic.
Yeah, I moved here from Virginia. About 2.5 years ago, me and a friend of mine from Northern Virginia, we decided we were going to join a club, and we started looking for clubs and came across Fourth Watch. In that time frame, we started 2 chapters in Virginia. I was president of the Old Dominion chapter, which is in the Hampton Roads area, Norfolk. I'm retired Navy, so
okay.
That was kind of my home for a while. About a year later, wife and I made the decision that we wanted to retire back in Texas, so we decided to move back to Texas.
You know what? I'm sorry. I got to cut you off. I didn't realize the time. We're going to have to take a break. I got to break for some commercials. We're going to come back, and we're going to hear from Poncho right after this.
Hi there, this is Lori Dunham. Check out my new show, Dunham Business Radio, every Monday, 6 p.m. Central Time in the Gray Bowl. On my show, you will hear a different perspective of business topics, interviews with exciting guests, facts, tips, and lots of fun. Because frankly, if you're not having fun, you're just doing it plain wrong. So be sure to tune into our show, Mondays, 6 p.m. Central in the Gray Bowl, right here on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Basically last year. Oh, really? And then before that, I was moving everywhere. I went to Connecticut for
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Groovy Gary, and I'm just letting you know you made an awesome choice by tuning in to Fishbowl Radio Network on FBRN.US. Keep it locked right here. Fishbowl Radio Network, FBRN.US.
Attention golfers, it's time to hit the course for some fun and prizes. It's the 6th Annual Golfing for Grads Tournament, September 14th at the Riverside Golf Club in Grand Prairie, Texas. Whether you're a PGA pro level or just getting into the game, the Golfing for Grads Tournament has something for everyone. Awards and prizes will be given for several categories, including male, female single players, and co-ed teams. So practice that swing and hit the course with us. The 6th Annual Golfing for Grads Tournament, benefiting the Turner 12 organization. September 14th, Riverside Golf Club in Grand Prairie, Texas. For more information, call or text Kathy Mitchell at 214-564-0501. Or go on eventbrite.com. Type in Golfing for Grads in the events column to register. Golfing for Grads, September 14th at the Riverside Golf Club in Grand Prairie, Texas. We'll see you there.
Mark your calendars. Get ready. Yes, the 2019 Fishbowl Radio Network Internet Radio Host Awards and 10-year anniversary celebration. It's happening on Saturday, October 19th at Studio 80 in downtown Fort Worth. Purchase your tickets today and join us as we party like it's 1999. That's right. Fishbowl Radio Network opened in 2009, and we are going to party like it's 1999 as we celebrate the hosts, crew, and listeners that have made Fishbowl Radio Network the largest internet radio network of its kind in the world over the last 10 years. VIP tickets available, so hurry and get yours today. Go to FBRN.US, click the Sharkey Awards link, and get your tickets now. This is one event you won't want to miss. The Fishbowl Radio Network Internet Radio Host Awards and 10-year anniversary celebration.
Hey, brothers, this is Big Love. Wanted to give a shout out to 99% Radio Network.
Hi, this is Boone, president of Deadweight Chapter of the Southern Dogs. You're listening to 99% Radio Network here on Fishbowl Radio Network.
This is Sergeant Ryan Edwards, United States Marine Corps, and you're listening to 99% Radio Network Live. Hoorah!
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. We are broadcasting you live from the Fishbowl Radio Network studios here in Arlington, Texas. And you're listening to Sideshow 12 and Mongo. And in our studio with us, we have Jimbo from the Countryman and Poncho from Fourth Watch. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
We're glad to have both of you here. Jimbo, we got a question came in right in the middle of the Mongolog. Cash, are you still on there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it was directed at both of you. One of our listeners, they asked, where do you see the Countryman headed in the future? What do you see for your club in the future?
I'll let Cash speak to that. I think we both got the same idea, but I'll let him speak to that.
Yeah, thanks, Jimbo. And that's a good question. Thank you for your question. So, there are bikers of all walks of life that have various skills and have the heart in the right place to join Countryman MC and support that mission, whether they've served in the military or not. And I guess there's no sense in trying to do something unless you're going to do something right and go big or go home. So I would say that we'd like to have a chapter in every state. And we are actively looking for leaders in the biker community, both veteran and non-veteran, American patriots, to be a part of that. And again, the club is not about territory. That's not what it's about. But when I envision something like that, I see us being able to ask the question, how do we maximize our impact for good? How can we provide a club home for men across this nation who want what we want and want what we have, want to experience what so many of us in clubs have done and give back like we've done? And that's what the growth is about. And that's why the vision is what it is to maximize impact. we believe there are good men out there listening right now who want what the Countryman NC provides. That's brotherhood, good times, and a purpose-driven service to American veterans.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Bringing that up. Say there's people out there that are listening to the show that aren't part of an MC right now, but would like to get involved in your mission, in the Countryman's mission, and be a part of your group. How would they go about that? Do you prospect? Do you do hang-arounds? How does that kind of work out to get to be part of your organization?
So we are a traditional motorcycle club, so all that applies. Hanging around, prospecting. First step is go to our website and check us out. CountrymanMC.org. Check us out. See what our mission is. See who we are. Come hang out with us, man. Have a good time. Ask questions about us. Get to know us. See if it's something you're interested in. If not, no hard feelings. It's all good. We just want people to come out and meet us and talk to us and find out for themselves who we are and what we do. And if you like it, you like it. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
There's so many clubs out there that you can become a part of, and it's okay if you don't want to be part of one club and you want to be part of another one. And you see that a lot. You do see that a lot, and it's not that you gotta have the right fit. You gotta have the right fit.
Yep.
And it's not that they don't want to be part of that same mission, but maybe their mission, maybe their outlook's just a little different. So, and that's what's great because it brings such a diversity throughout the motorcycle community.
Absolutely.
So, like what you just said, man, no hard feelings. Come out, check it out, spend a couple of weeks with us, ride with us, party with us, go on a couple of fundraising things with us. And you know what? You don't like it, you want to do something else, that's great, man, and you move on.
Hey, just real quick.
Now, there is for those that are not in the area, that maybe they were thinking about starting their own motorcycle club one day, or there is a path to that. So if I could just encourage everybody that might be out there listening to this to like Jimbo said, go to countrymanmc.org, not .com, and or you can email us at board, which is short for board of directors, at countrymanmc.org, and send your questions. I came into this world out of the military, into the motorcycle club world, not knowing a damn thing. So don't think you have to come to the table with some expertise. Or maybe there's some people who are part of an organization like a riding club or a riding group, and they want to step up in the world. And maybe this is something that sounds right. Just know that the men here have been there and gone through it, and we want you to be successful because we want to make our mission successful. And there is a little bit of... there are three tenets of Countryman at the Countryman MC, and that's service, patriotism, and brotherhood. And if you're seeking to fulfill those tenets, then this might be a good home for you.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And you don't know the type of impact it will have on your life. Becoming a member of one of these clubs it really is life changing, to a point of you start learning brotherhood. And now I've learned brotherhood in younger years, and I preach it a lot through being a first responder, and the connection you make throughout with other people is just so uplifting, warm, and self-satisfying that when you're down, if you get to that low point in your life, you always know you have family there. No matter what it is. It doesn't have to be a blood family. You have a family there that will take care of you.
So I want to give a quick shout out to Sergeant Major Vic from Senator Hall's office. He's listening in. Hopefully he's off duty right now and not working. But
John's been such a great supporter of our club, Third Watch, with Walk the Bridge.
Absolutely.
We can't thank him enough for that.
So, Cash, I don't know if you remember or not. I met you actually at the Seek ride, and I got to see your bike. I want to ask you a couple questions about your bike. First off, what do you ride?
I ride like so many others, a street glide. A little bit customized to my flavor, though.
So I want to talk to you about that customization real quick. Tell us a little bit about your bike and try to paint a picture for our listeners right now. I actually have a picture someplace on my phone still of your bike. I thought it was it's pretty damn cool. Yeah. Just to be frank, it's very cool. Tell us about it.
Well, let me see if I can describe the most beautiful, most ugly bike in the world. So imagine a street glide that's covered in shiny paint, and then take all that off because that's garbage. Replace it with OD green spray with a flat OD green. If you could also imagine some chips from various rocks and things that have been hit over the years doing the highway riding, because we don't want a nice clear coat. We obviously have to have some dents and scratches, right? The windshield was a gift from my brother Ogre, and it is a scene of some soldiers, silhouettes of soldiers, and guard tower and choppers in the distance. Not your
Never
standard
seen a
windshield.
like
I think
that.
that's pretty cool.
Badass.
We do have some grenades stenciled in on the side of the tanks and the sides of the saddlebags, which for a lot of people are their favorite part of this monster. And the saddlebags are modified 50 caliber ammunition ammo canisters. And when you open those up for those military veterans listening, you remember that squeaky sound of the lid coming open of an ammo can. It brings me back every time. Underneath that is a rumbling pipe that's laden with rust, because that's just how it needs to be. And the rest of it's black. It's black and OD green. The wires sometimes work, so I get my lights most of the time. And but I love the bike. It is unique. It was a rare find. It was hard to. A lot of welding was done to get the ammo cans at the bottom to sit on the support frames. That's a standard 103 engine. But it, like everybody else's bikes out there, it's just a way for us to connect with the road and to connect with each other. And I'm really grateful and thankful to have a bike like that.
Well, you painted that great picture of your bike. You know what I want you to do next is I want you to text us a picture of your bike, or so we can post it so all our viewers could see exactly what you're talking about. We'll post that. We'll post your bike picture on our page. This way, everybody can know what you were talking about.
Cool looking.
So let's. If you can get us that picture, Cash, just send it to us. Either text it to Jimbo or 12, and then we'll load it up right on the website so everybody else can enjoy your ride as well.
Absolutely, and I'll just let everybody know the bidding, if you're interested, starts at $1 million.
Capitalism at its best.
There you go. So before I so rudely cut Poncho off regarding, because we had to do a break from Fourth Watch. Poncho, I apologize for that, but
no worries, brother. It's all good. It's all good. Just,
tell us a little bit about Fourth Watch.
So Fourth Watch, we as all of you know, especially we're a public safety club, so it started out with the 5 guys that they had a very close friend, almost like a brother to our founders. They decided to memorialize him, and they all liked riding motorcycles, and decided one day, you know what, we should make a club and honor him. And with the 3 watches that we have in public service,
right?
The 4th watch being for those that gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Wow.
And so that's where we get our name from. Is we honor those and remember those and never forget.
We don't want to give away too much, but I want to tell you how Poncho came to be here today, and what it's leading up to for next week.
All right.
So if you recall, the 99% Radio Network put the call out to try to find some folks, MC members that responded on 9/11, because next Wednesday when we're on the air, it'll be a special 9/11 show.
Right.
And so we put out that net, and Poncho was one of the people that responded to that, and he actually introduced us to your national president, correct? Tick.
Yep.
In Union City, New Jersey, which I think you're familiar with.
Yep. Right across the Hudson.
And so he's going to be one of our guests for next week on the 9/11 show. And Poncho was gracious enough to stop by today and help us tease that 9/11 show.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, and I'm going to tease it just a little bit more, is that next week we're going to start at 2 o'clock. It's going to be a special 3-hour show honoring our 9/11 heroes and discussing a lot of the stuff that's been going on in the last 18 years and what people have sacrificed, people that have triumphed, and people that are still suffering from the effects. Now, with Union City, with Tick calling in, I remember being at 9/11, and a lot of the first responders didn't drive over from Union City, New Jersey. They jumped on the ferries, and they were crossing the Hudson to get over there. The ferries we just kept going back and forth, and shuttling people. and they were putting injured onto those ferries and bringing them over to the New Jersey side. And when we talk about the sicknesses that people, everybody thinks New York is the only people that got sick, which is not true. We've lost a lot of people from New Jersey as well to the 9/11 cancers. Their support, the Jersey support for that came across that river that day was immense. I mean, from all over the country, but Jersey really, they were right there with us because they do own part of the Port Authority. Yep. We can't thank them enough for what they did.
So one of the things that goes along with that is the brother that we honor, that we started, how the club got started was he was a Port Authority police officer the day of 9/11, and he actually died responding at 9/11 in one of the towers. And again, I don't want to give away too much because I can't do the story justice like my prez Tick Tick can.
Right. Okay.
It's definitely it's a story to be heard.
Well, thanks to you, this is going to be a great show, and I'm really excited about it. From the upcoming Mongolog, from the guests that we'll have in studio, and I think what will make it really special is the fact that you have your perspective on that day. I think we're going to have Samantha Horowitz with us that day.
Yep.
She has her perspective, and then Tick Tick.
Plus, we'll have some calling guests.
And I'll just share one of the things that he told me. He told me that from Union City, you could see the towers.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually saw the towers fall. And
clear view.
He said it was
you got
a
an
perfect
unobstructed clear view. And if you look at some of the film footage, a lot of that film footage of when they show the smoke across Manhattan comes from Union City.
Right.
From across the bay.
Well, this is the last thing I'm going to say about it because I don't want to give it away. I want him to describe it. But when I was talking to him the other night on the phone, his story gave me goosebumps. It was such a move. And, I've read the books. I've watched all the videos and stuff that I could watch. But his story was so moving, it gave me goosebumps about what he saw and his experiences that day that led to the formation of Fourth Watch.
Right.
So thank you for your service, by the way, and thank you for being a part of this and for helping us out.
Hey, I thank you guys for letting me come on.
Thank you. I'll tell you, Sideshow, if there's an over-under on whether or not 12 is going to give away any more teas on this, I want to take the over because I guarantee you that's not the end of it. But.
When you guys were together in law enforcement, did you have to smack him to shut him up?
Well, he is the storyteller, and he will embellish to a point. We had another guy that he was the one, if you wanted to put out misinformation, give it to him as a secret, and it would go out. 12 wouldn't give misinformation, but he would give a lot of information. And I'll tell you, I've done a few things in the service with people that I probably wouldn't want 12 to be with me because he'd be the one saying, hey, you know what? Oh, yeah, that's cool. We did it. Some things you just got to keep on the down low. Again, I'm taking the over on that.
All right. Any more bets? Hey, just a thing out from I'm going to give you a thing in Facebook. Dale Beardmore Jr. says, wake up in the corner there, Jimbo. Wake up in the corner. Everybody across this great nation was touched in some way, somehow, by the effects by those terrorist attacks back in 2001. Anybody who it was at an elementary school at that point, or of teenage years, and saw the effects of this, and we're going to share a lot of those true stories next week. But it's touched everybody across the country and globally, I think. Somebody's known somebody who's either passed away, responded, or something. And that magnitude is huge. That magnitude is huge.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. And, the great thing, what I love the most about this club is that the foundation of our club is 9/11. And we do everything we can to remember not just those that perished on 9/11, but, prior to them, and all first responders, all military, everybody that just perished doing their either line of duty or at 9/11. So that's what's so beautiful about my club.
And I like the Fourth Watch thing, the ultimate sacrifice type of persona on that, and that shows such great honor and dignity to our fallen heroes.
Yes.
Because there is no job that you give that ultimate sacrifice while trying to perform your duties and saving another soul. So
totally agree.
Is PJ Marcel part of your club? Is he Fourth Watch guy?
No.
Okay. This I don't know who he is or who he's with, but PJ Marcel, he's been trying to call in. Apparently, we're having some technical difficulties there
well,
too.
no, it's because we have Cash on the line.
Oh, that's right.
We only got that one line coming in. So, actually, Cash, could we let you go so we could hear from this guy, PJ?
Absolutely. Gentlemen, it's been a privilege and an honor. I wish all of you out there a very good week, and take a moment of remembrance here coming 9/11.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, Cash. If we can do anything for you, the 99% Radio Network, advertise your rides, whatever, we're here for you, brother.
Thank you so very much. Hey, and I sent Jimbo a picture of Dutch, my bike.
Awesome.
All right, very
Thanks.
good. All right.
Be safe.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, PJ Marshall, man, the line is open if you want to give us a quick shout. And you know what? There we go. Whoa. Didn't hesitate on that.
Heck no. Hello, caller. You're on the 99% Radio Network.
Thank you so very much.
Hey, this is PJ from the 9/11 Memorial Ride. I saw you guys. I'm watching you live now.
Hey, PJ, thank you for calling in. Sorry we couldn't answer the phone before. We had another caller on.
Yeah, that's understandable. I tried to call last time you guys were on, and I couldn't get through.
Yeah, we're only down to one line. We used to have more than one line. Now we're only down to one line, so it's hit and miss. Sorry about that, brother.
Understood. No, it's not a big deal. You guys no time to talk about the ride today, I guess, right?
Yeah. You guys are doing a 9/11 ride.
Yeah, biggest ride in New York City. I have a parade permit from the mayor's office. It's never been issued before. Only people that've been doing rides have been getting ride permits. I have a parade permit for 2,000 people. I have a fire, EMS, and military escort with aviation going down to the Trade Center, closing 65 miles of New York City this Sunday. I posted the video online. It's less than 55 seconds.
I saw your video. I think I even shared your video on our page. And it also has like tow trucks involved and construction workers involved.
Everybody's involved.
Everybody's involved. And back in 2000, I think it was 2003, I did a 9/11 run. That's just before I left New York, and it was a wonderful run. It went from Jones Beach to the Trade Center. Now you guys
was that with the governor?
No, that was with what's his name from Twisted Sister. That was
D. Snyder, my friend.
Yeah. D. Snyder. D. Snyder and his dragon bike. He led that parade that was right after 9/11. That bike run right after 9/11 through the streets of Manhattan. And I'm glad to see that this is still picking up with you guys doing the 9/11 the bike run, because that is super emotional run. It's a great run for a great cause.
Hey PJ, this is Mongo here. Hey, we unless something comes up and something changes over the next week, we've got. We are told that the folks from Orange County Choppers are going to be participating in your ride also, all the way down to Ground Zero.
That's correct.
Yep, we're hoping that all goes well, and maybe get a phone call next week with our.
Absolutely. I didn't mean to barge in on you guys.
No.
Every time I try to catch you guys, it's like you guys are just ending the show, or I'm driving.
Actually, we'd love for you to call in at the beginning of the show, maybe next week, at the start of your the bike run. Or at the completion of the bike run, let us know how it's going, and please post pictures, because we will share those pictures on our webpage as well.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. I wish I would have got to you guys earlier in the year. I passed you many times on the internet. I just never got a chance to get engaged, but you guys are doing a great job for what you're doing in the motorcycle community. We all appreciate, love, and support you guys, and as well as everyone else that pays attention to you, we support everybody within our circle in the community.
Hey, PJ, feel free to friend either myself or 12 on Facebook, and that way we can make a connection. And if you need to, you can actually send a text message to either of us during the show that we'll get, that we can actually get back in contact with you if we got a situation like this where we've got a caller, a guest on the phone, and you can't get through and you need to talk about something.
Absolutely. I can do that now off the messenger. I just got to do it on the messenger. I walked away from my computer because you guys are still on.
Yeah, no hurries. You got time. I'm just telling you to feel free to do it.
Is this your
Absolutely.
ride, PJ? Are you putting this together? Your group? Are you the ones responsible for this ride?
I am the creator, the one that had the nightmare about it, the one that was responding down to the trade center when I was 21 years old, the one that helped organize and forefront this, and it was my group that made it come to life.
So will you be riding up near the front?
I am leading the parade in my 2013 police spec Harley-Davidson Road King. EMS
Sweet.
decaled out, agency back.
Now let me just. Are you? You said EMS. Are you from EMS or fire? Or
Yes,
PD?
I am. I have 19 years emergency service. I volunteered as an auxiliary police officer, volunteer firefighter, and I have 12 years with the same agency, volunteer EMS in Forest Hills Ambulance.
All right.
We lost at that agency the youngest first responder. He was 18 years old. That's why I get everything I want for this ride through the city and state, because we lost Richard Allen Perlman, who was 18 years old on 9/11.
PJ, me and you got a lot in common. Now you say you got 19 years in EMS, right?
Emergency service combined, yes.
Emergency service combined. So you were in you rode the box for Health and Hospitals Corporation?
I've worked for Health and Hospitals Corporation, Queens General Hospital,
Let me
as
ask
an
something.
administrator for 3 years.
What station? What station did you work out of?
I was in Queens General Hospital.
You Queens. I worked out of 34 out of East New York, Brooklyn.
It's funny.
I did my time there, and then I moved over to the 7-7 when I became a cop, and I moved over to the 7-7 and I went into narcotics. Now you say you're a volunteer firefighter. Where are you, volley?
I was a volunteer auxiliary police officer at the time of the attacks, the 106 precinct in Queens. I then moved actually a month before the Trade Center attack. I left the auxiliary police and went to volunteer fire after 9/11. Worked volunteer fire at West Hamilton Beach for a year and a half, then 2 years. Then I went from volunteer fire to EMS at Forest Hills Volunteer Ambulance from 2007 to current.
Oh, wow, okay, because I was a chief out of Farmingdale Fire Department out on Long Island.
Okay, I've been trying to reach out those guys to get them to come to the parade, and they fucking don't want to answer me.
I'm sure. Well, you know what? Connect with me on Facebook as well, and I'll get you in touch with the right people.
So
awesome! This event's for everybody, man.
So PJ, I'm not going to give Mongo the satisfaction of collecting on his bet.
Yes,
so
you will.
I don't want to give away too much more, but so we've been talking to some people back there in New York, and if you're, we heard rumor that the governor was going to be riding up front too. Is that true?
That's not my ride.
So is there more than one ride going on, or?
Yeah, the governor does his own 9/11 ride. This has nothing to do with the governor's 9/11 ride.
Okay. All right.
There is another 9/11 memorial ride that Governor Cuomo does, and this ride has no political attachment or affiliation with any city, state, or government agency.
Okay, but you're going down to ground zero, right?
Correct.
Okay, so when you go down there, not right there, but somewhere close by there, if you get a chance to call in, if you could call in, if you have a free minute, I know how those things go, you're probably busy, but if you have a chance to call in, not at the memorial itself, I think that'd be disrespectful, but somewhere close by there. Next week on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday is 9/11, right? Wednesday's 9/11. Yeah, I have our ceremony at 7, so I could call in before our event is on this Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh,
our event is this Sunday, 9/8.
Okay.
Yeah, their event's on the 8th.
The governor, he comes down from upstate on 9/11. That's why I'm saying there's two different events.
Right.
My event is bigger than his.
Yeah.
I have 200 emergency vehicles in the area, leading thousands of motorcyclists.
Yeah, if you look at the video, if you look at the past videos, the run is amazing. And I wish I was in New York because I would be kickstands up with you in a heartbeat. This parade is huge. You don't want to miss this Sunday parade. If you have a bike, man, if you have two wheels, I would definitely recommend getting into this parade.
Yeah, all the money goes to the Forest Hills Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and everybody puts a fee on their rides, but for the fee for our ride, it's nothing. You're paying $40. You pre-register online, okay? Eventbrite takes 3% of the purchase. We're left with the remainder. Texas Roadhouse was the main sponsor this year. So with your $40 admission, you're getting food, you're getting a drink, you're getting a collectible challenge coin that we make just for the ride every year. And
Wow.
the challenge coin is amazing. We have a regular challenge coin that we make X amount of, and I have 250 gold President Edition challenge coins that if you're a president of an organization and you're present, I personally hand those out to each president that comes to the ride. You're also given a raffle ticket, and you're also entered into the grand prize contest that will mention that day and release a winner right there on stage.
Wow, that's amazing. That sounds like an awesome ride, man. If you're on the East Coast, if you're anywhere on the East Coast and you miss this ride, man, shame on you. Shame on you. How could they register online?
It's very simple. You could either go to the Punishers page, the New York City Punishers page, or go to eventbrite.com and type in Run for Richie. It takes seconds to register, and we're at right now close to 1,000 pre-registrants, which will probably equal to 5,000-6,000 people that day.
Fantastic, man. Brother, we can't thank you enough from the Midwest here on what you're doing on the East Coast. We wish we were there to support you, but we'll support you in any way we can, helping you getting the word out. And we'll hope to hear from you on that next Wednesday. Flood us with some photos, some pictures. This way we can share them and and enjoy the ride, man. And God bless.
If I could just say, I'm not out here being the biggest, the best, the largest. It takes everyone in this community to put on an event in multiple areas. Not all of us can travel. Not everyone can get up and leave their state and their family and their job and come down to the Memorial Ride. I get it. As a community, as the motorcycling culture and lifestyle, if we all do and put in 2 cents to put these great events together locally, nationally, in every state and every city, as a unit, we will always be successful. What you guys are doing is changing the culture of the universe for motorcyclists, and we thank you as the Punishers, as Forest Hills Ambulance, and on behalf of the 9/11 Memorial Ride.
PJ, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, PJ. So kind.
You got it, guys. Please find me on Facebook and throw that friend request because I can't. I'm going through all the trying to find you guys right now. I'm having no luck.
We'll
I'm an
look
idiot
you
on the
up here
computer a
after the
little bit.
show's over, okay, buddy?
Yeah, we'll get you
Very
up right
good,
after
guys.
the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right, bro.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That is right there gave me chills. Knowing and what he was saying, that how this show is making such a difference in the motorcycling community across the country. And now we're hearing from Ireland. Now the preacher just came on. I mean, just think of the magnitude of the people that we're touching just by talking into these microphones and connecting guys and connecting clubs and networking. We're really building up a good platform here, and we have everybody out there to thank for it. So,
hey, preacher, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Apparently, we're having some trouble communicating with Ireland today.
Ireland says hello. It sounds like Eurovision.
You sound a little sick, brother. You under the weather?
No, it's I gotta get up real early in the morning, so I jumped into bed. I mean, if I switched on the video, I'd have a good screen and picture.
All right.
And I still think that dog is ugly. I just wanted to put that out there, okay?
Rocky's not going to be happy to hear that, and I think she just did.
No, well, she sent me a picture of the dog there last week, just for my viewing. And yeah, I've come up with the same answer. I think you really need to get a proper dog.
Well, I've got two others, but that one's a good that one's a good dog. But anyway.
Oh, I'd say he that comes in the front door.
Preacher in the studio with us, just to let you know. We have Jimbo with the Countryman MC, and then we have we have Poncho from the Fourth Watch MC PSC, right? PSC. Just to let you know who's in the studio with you. This is Preacher from Ireland. He's with Blue Deus, and they're going to start a new chapter real soon that Mongo is going to check out over in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. They're going to bring from Ireland over here into the States, which is very, very exciting news, and we can't wait to be part of that whole patch over across the ocean type of thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because the Albuquerque guys are just beautiful people. They're fantastic. I love them all, and I especially love Coyote. And me and him have prayed together on many occasions. But it's going to be something new because it's going to tie into the radio station where we're going to do the first ever live that people can listen in and look in and see people taking an oath towards a club and what it means to give your time and energy to a law enforcement club that does all these great works that you've been talking about tonight.
Yeah, we're excited. I know Mongo is excited to really get out there and be a part of this, and to meet these guys and to interview them.
And Preacher, Sideshow 12 and I talked about this past weekend. I'm going to sit down this week. I've got a lot of other stuff going on, but I'm going to actually write down what I think we need to do and how it can be taken care of, and I'll send it with you, and then we'll get together and figure out how we can make it all happen, either on the way out or the way back. I'm thinking the way back will be a better time of day for everybody, but yeah, I'm flexible to a point, but we'll make it happen for sure.
Oh yeah, listen, we will. I mean, this is history going to happen now with this whole thing. And look, I'm in a different country, different time zone and stuff like that. But we'll try and key it in that it suits everybody and we can make it happen.
Absolutely.
So if
yeah.
you guys are wondering what we're doing, Poncho and Jimbo, we're going to try, I think we're going to do the first intercontinental or continental patching in ceremony, because they're gonna Preacher's crew he's from Blue Deos over in Ireland. He's gonna swear them in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Mongo's gonna be the intermediary all this, and then we're gonna put it out on the 99% Radio Network. So
nice.
It should be it's gonna be pretty cool. I think.
Yeah. I'm glad we're involved. I'm glad we're able to be part of this. And just think about this, Preacher. If the 99% Network wasn't here, nobody would know about this.
Right.
Nobody would know about this. So this is the people that we touch across the globe, man.
Yeah.
This is how powerful the motorcycle community is.
Well,
absolutely. I mean, look at the people that are sitting around you. I always say this. Look at the people sitting around you. Take just 20 seconds and look at them, and then ask them a question of what have you done in the last week that has changed somebody's life. And I guarantee you, everybody sitting there will have at least 3 or 4 things that they can say, and that's what the law enforcement motorcycle world is all about.
That's exactly it. Man, because it's touching someone's life every day.
Well, the Countrymen are not LEMC. They're a traditional MC, but knowing those guys, I can guarantee you the answer to that would be yes.
Yeah, family, brother.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to be an LEMC or a PSC. You could be an enthusiast or whoever you are, a regular MC, traditional. Everybody, the motorcycle community in a whole, gives back just people ride for different reasons or they ride for different causes, but it's a brotherhood that brings it together, and it's a brotherhood that helps other people out. So you could be. It doesn't matter what the club is. It's the people inside the club that make that such a tight network. Yep. It doesn't matter what patch you wear. It's the people that support the brotherhood.
And if you look at the rides that the MCs are putting on, not everybody in those rides is a patched wearing rider. A lot of them are independent riders. They're just not participating for that club.
Yep.
And it's all about just getting out there and you're supporting the effort.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about the motorcycle community. Real quick,
it's like-minded people coming together. Like-minded people coming together to change the world that we live in, to change our communities, to make a difference, stand shoulder to shoulder, hold each other together, don't let each other down. It doesn't matter if it's MC, LEMC, PCC, PPS, as long as you have the same heart, the same spirit to work together for a better world, we're family.
Yeah, that's it, man. I don't want to cut you off. I just saw Ken Harris, his Shiner from the Southern Dogs. He's got a question out there for PJ over in Long Island from the Punishers. He is looking for some of those coins that you were talking about. Shiner over at Southern Dogs always helps out other clubs throughout the country by making his donation, and he's looking out to maybe get some coins. So PJ from the Punishers, if you could reach out to Ken Harris over at the Southern Dogs, maybe you guys could hook up and maybe get Southern Dogs some coins, and maybe tell other other clubs around the country how they can get some of those coins as well. And now that I'm on that with the Ken Harris with Shiner, I just want to bring up a quick event, if you don't mind, before I forget this. Shiner is hosting Southern Dogs 286 is hosting a comedy night. It's going to be an epic comedy night for Bikers Against Bullying, and that's going to be on September 21st. Now, we've had Shiner in here many times, and those guys take money out of their own pocket to get these kids clothes, to get these kids mentoring classes, karate classes, and they do this all out of the kindness of their heart. But their funds, they need funds, and their programs to bring into the schools to stop this bullying and stop the 14 kids a day from committing suicide takes a little money. So we're going to host, they're hosting this show over at Scooters in Garland, Texas. That's 1401 Northwest Highway. The doors are going to open up at 6 o'clock. The show is going to start at 8. It's $10 tickets at the door. I got a retired sergeant, Frank Fiella, flying in from New York for this show. He is an amazing comic. I got Chris Jeremy, who's another amazing comic, and headlining that night off is CJ Starr. And we have a very special female guest that's going to be on the show. And, she's done a couple of other shows with us. Yeah. So you will see her as well. So please be there September 21st. Tickets are at the door. This is going to sell out fast at the door, so do get there early. We've proven that the last couple of shows that we've hosted through the motorcycle community have been packed out with 200 to 300 people. So get there early. Make sure you get your tickets. All right, man. I just wanted to bring that up.
There you go.
I saw Ken on it.
Hey, Preacher, Rocky says, thou shalt not slander your brother's dog. I think she's got her eye on you, buddy.
Tell her I've got a good whiskey that'll change his look.
Hey, Preacher, I got a question. Are we? You said you have to get up early. Are we keeping you up right now?
Hey, brothers, you're always keeping me up, but it's okay.
Because we can change the order up. If you got to get back to bed, we can have you do the prayer now, and we'll do some announcements afterwards.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that.
Go ahead, Preacher. Pray us out,
cool.
brother.
Okay, brothers. I was listening to all that was said tonight, and I was paying attention carefully to, the whole thing that goes on in America with.
Do we lose you?
Yeah, you got me back again now.
Okay.
It went for a second. Dear Lord, you're a magnificent God, and here these gentlemen and everybody else in America that puts their life on the line, who wears the red, white, blue, green and grey of first responders. They stand up for all the people of the community, the people of their nation. As we know, next week will be the remembrance for 9/11. And I always look at all these men, and they wear a uniform, and the heart that beats inside it, the blood that runs through their system, Lord, that you have given to them, that you have given them the strength to stand there in these uniforms and take on these jobs, to put their life on the line for their communities and their country, Lord. And people, lots of the time, don't give them the respect they're due and judge them harshly. Lord, may you hold them in your arms. May you hug them every day. May they know that you're there with them at every minute of every day, that your hand is upon them, that you're blessing them. No matter what comes their way to knock them, no matter what comes their way to put them down, Lord, they stand up. They stay strong. They put their shoulders to shoulders. They stand there to protect all that live in their countries and their nations throughout the world. So to the red, white, blue, the green and the grey of the first responders, Lord, let your hand be on them and bless them every day of their life. Amen.
Amen. Once again, preacher, and that prayer came from Dublin, Ireland, preacher from Blue Deus, who's been doing that a couple, for our last shows. And I tell you, it's so impactful, and I can't thank you enough for sending those prayers to us, because it means a lot to each and every one of us here in the States, preacher.
Brothers, I love yous. I think the show is brilliant. I have the greatest respect, as I called out all those colours. And the grey to me is the correctional officers, who put their life on the line as well. Keeping these bad, evil people locked up in jails. And I have the greatest respect for every single one of yous and everything that you've ever done. And I look forward to next Wednesday and having our chat. And I wrote down a few words of some sort of a poem, and I hope to read them out next Wednesday.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
We're looking forward to
Yes.
it, preacher.
Yep.
All right, preacher, take care.
Listen.
God bless. Talk to you soon, okay?
Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Man, I was preacher from Blue Deus over in Dublin, Ireland. Once again, bringing peace and joy to our show, and a little spiritual need that we all have inside us, because without our faith in whatever God you believe in, or without our faith in each other, we can't move on.
Yep.
We can't perform our missions.
Right. And
So.
he's become an important part of the show too.
Yeah. He's like the Baba Booey of Howard Stern. So we got about 10 minutes before we have to wrap this up. So I just want to bring up. I brought up the Bikers Against Bullying comedy show that's going to be on September 21st. I want to bring up the September 15th over at 3505 Maple Avenue in Dallas. That's going to be the 9/11 Heroes Run from the Travis Manion Foundation. So please check out 911heroesrun.org to register. Please come out and show your support. That's going to be on September 15th. And then if you are or a family member is suffering from PTSD through first responders, me and Sam Horowitz, she's a retired Secret Service agent, will be the keynote speakers at PTSD and the First Responder, being held at the George W. Hawks Downtown Library in Arlington, Texas. That's going to go from 2 to 4. It's a free seminar. We're also going to have Jeff Freeman from the Rowlett Police Department. He's going to be there. He's going to be on hand as well to speak. We're going to talk about the signs, the symptoms, and how we can protect each other from this devil that we all fight every day. That's it for me.
Oh, well, for more announcements, we got September 14th, Dallas Harley-Davidson and the Peacekeepers Motorcycle Club is hosting a car and bike show at Dallas Harley-Davidson at 1334 West Centerville Road in Garland. The time of that event is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that is to benefit fallen officers. Also, we've talked about this before, and we actually had Mad Dog in, but the Children's Advocacy Center for Rockwall is having its 4th annual Teddy Bear Ride on Sunday, September 22nd. Registrations at 11 a.m. at Rockwall County Courthouse. They're also going to have, at the courthouse, they're going to have a silent auction inside the building. So even if you're not going to ride, go there, look at what they've got available at the silent auction, participate. You can pre-register for this event at www.rockwallcac.org. The registration is $15 per rider, and they ask that you bring an unwrapped soft toy. The passengers are $5 for this event. This is hosted by the Children's Advocacy Center of Rockwall County and America's Guardians.
All right, and once again, all these rides will be posted on our webpage, so don't feel like, oh my God, I missed what he just said about a ride. They will be all on our webpage. Let Jimbo just give us the one more that yours is September 7th, which is this Saturday, up and coming.
Correct. Yeah, September 7th. KSU registration opens at 12. KSU at 2 o'clock. Also, we've actually got a really busy week this week. We'll be hanging out tonight. Both chapters from the area here will be at Rocket Sports Bar and Grill tonight. Just kind of hanging out if anybody wants to come out and meet us. Address is 2121 Buckingham Road. That's in Richardson, Texas. Same thing, and I'll give you guys the flyer. We're actually hosting that Patriot and military bike night there Friday, 7 to close. Same spot, 2121 Buckingham Road, Richardson. And then, of course, the ride on Saturday at Sports City Cafe in Mesquite. And I hope to see a lot of you guys out there, and we'll get it done.
Don't you expect him to say, I love Jimbo when he's talking to have some mustard on them taters, Sling blade. I can't wait to say,
I reckon.
And Poncho, you got anything? You guys got anything coming up that you want to help promote, or
not anything in as far as the DFW area? Or we do a big ride though in the Jersey area. Mother chapter and the Connecticut chapter, or not Connecticut, but New York chapter and the other Jersey chapter. They'll get together and they'll ride around. There's a bunch of different ceremonies that happen, as you know,
right,
in that area. So they're part of that, especially in Union City,
Yep.
since that's where we wear 834. That's police officer, Port Authority police officer David Lemonnier. That was his badge number.
Yeah, I have a very good friend from Port Authority, George Howard, who perished, and George Bush now has George Howard's badge.
Oh.
He was from Port Authority as well.
Nice. But yeah, but that's it. It's September 11th for us. It's you could almost consider it our holy day.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Let's not forget our first responders, but we can never forget all the victims that perished that day. Our stewardess, our flight. I'm sorry, I can't use that word. It's politically wrong. Our flight attendants, our pilots, our passengers on the plane, our thousands of civilians that were in the towers that day. Those people we can never forget. We can never forget those who continuously suffer from the illnesses throughout the country, and we can never forget, and we will never forget. And we'll let that, and we're going to bring this on to next show.
Can I add
week.
something to that
Sure.
real quick side show? But let's also not forget, Shawshank, the field in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And obviously, everybody. I lost a good friend that I went to my A school with when I was in the service. He was at the Pentagon the day that happened.
It'll be remembered next week for sure.
You bring up a good point, and I'm going to throw John Walsh a bone here, because John, for the last couple of years, from the Omega Gamma Delta Iota fraternity, he goes to DFW, he goes to Grapevine, and he goes to the memorial for American Airlines. They have a memorial there as well for the flight attendants and the pilots. So yeah, you're 100% right. We can't forget the plane that went down in Pennsylvania. We can't forget the Pentagon. We can't forget the towers. We can't forget everybody else that perished. That was a tragic day for everybody.
Amen.
So, that was a way to shut the show.
I can't wait till next week, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome. Our first 3-hour show, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, next week, please tune in. We're going to start the show at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're looking for a lot of call-ins. We're going to have some great guests. in and out of the studio all day.
Just before we forget, on the 22nd, I know there's a lot going on that day with America's Guardians ride over in Rockwall. But that afternoon, here you can kill two birds with one stone. Hashtag Walk the Bridge at 6:30 that evening. Third Watch has been selected to be featured on CBS 11 segment called The Ones for Texas. And we're inviting all our MC brothers across North Texas, all the clubs that have been into the studio and the ones that we're talking about coming in the near future. We'd like you to come out and join us and be a part of this. It's an opportunity. We walk the 22nd of every month.
And bring your club flag.
And bring your club flag.
Bring your club flag.
I know that we're all in one accord on this. We walk the 22nd every month to raise awareness about the epidemic of veteran and first responder suicide. It's over 130 police officers, over 60 firefighters now, and over 4,600 veterans at the last count that I saw. And we're going to make a huge statement. It'll be broadcast on Monday in the 5 o'clock hour, as I understand it. So we want everyone to come out and join us. This will be the Highway 66 bridge between Rowlett and Rockwall, and we'll meet up on the Rockwall side, and we'll make a very loud statement that day. Right,
and just to remember, and another one out to the NYPD. They just had another. They just had another suicide. That's 10 so far just for the NYPD this year. And, seek help. It's seek help. Talk to somebody. There are plenty of programs out there. If you don't feel comfortable talking with a therapist, talk with a brother, reach out, make that phone call. Believe it or not, that one phone call will save your life, because you'll realize that it's not only about you. Everybody goes through this. And it's okay to not be okay. Remember that. It's okay not to be okay. And that's a quote from Sam Horowitz, retired Secret Service agent, who was in the elevators at the towers. She came up with that little slogan. It's okay not to be okay. So we watch each other's back. We have our brother's six, always.
Yesterday, little Tex from Chaotic Angels, he has some experience with autistic children. I got a call from Operation Victor Echo Tango up near Sulphur Springs, and they were dealing with a single mother, a veteran, with two autistic children. And I read the email that she wrote, and she was pushed to the very edge. She didn't know how to deal. She was coping with some PTI, two autistic children in the house, totally at her wits' end, and was thinking really bad thoughts. And got little Tex involved in that. Just like with Jimbo before, I called little Tex up. He works graveyard shift, down at the VA.
Yep.
He said, "I'm on it, brother. I'll take care of it. I'll reach out to her," and he's experienced in how to deal with that. How it will end up, I don't know. But that's just an illustration of what you just said. Right away, a brother jumped up. Boom! I'll help. I want to help this veteran.
And that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to wrap it up right now. Remember, brothers and sisters out there throughout our country and globally, keep the rubber on the ground, keep your wind in your back, and always tune in on Wednesdays between 3 and 5 for a little radio wind therapy. Any closing statement, guys? Real quick.
Thanks for having us.
I want to thank Poncho from the Fourth Watch MC. I want to thank Jimbo from the Countryman MC, and to all you guys out there. Have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday. Take care.